We return to our top story. An investigation is underway after an Immigration and Customs Enforcement agent shot and killed a woman in Minneapolis. The Trump administration says an ICE officer acted in self-defense when he opened fire on 37-year-old Renee Good. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem claims Good was trying to run over federal officers with her vehicle in an act of domestic terrorism. Witnesses who were on the scene refute that account. Local leaders, including Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, are calling on ICE to leave the state while the investigation unfolds. Chad Wolf joins us now. He's the executive vice president of the America First Policy Institute. He also served as acting Homeland Security Secretary during the first Trump administration. Thank you for being here. Our Nicole Skenga is reporting that per DHS, ICE Enforcement and Removal Operations Special Response Team members get 288 hours of annual training. This agent also has more than 10 years experience. What would training tell agents to do in this situation?
Well, I think the training would tell them, obviously, to stop the individual. Again, I've seen the video just like you've seen the video and others. So the verbal commands that they are giving the individual behind that wheel of the car, whether either to stop the car or perhaps to exit the car. So you give them verbal demands, then you try to forcibly stop them. And if that's not the case, you try to have other individuals and other officers come in to help you do that. Obviously, in this case, when the car reverses and then lunges forward, that's a different scenario that they train for as well. So they do. ICE does a lot of their training at the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center in Georgia. Customs and Border Protection and Border Patrol officers, some of which are on scene there in Minneapolis, have a separate training facility in New Mexico that they go to as well. And then they get specialized training throughout their career for other duty sets that they should do as well.
Do you think that the officers properly de-escalated the situation before and could have prevented this from happening at all?
Well, look, I'm going to let the investigation play out. I've seen snippets of videos from different angles. I don't have any firsthand eyewitness testimony, and there's a lot that goes into these investigations. But here's what I'll say. I think it's very concerning to me that the place that most people are going is obvious, is that law enforcement did something wrong here. And we should support our law enforcement officers instead of saying, why is this individual trying to impede law enforcement, not adhering to their commands, which are lawful commands, and then trying to abscond or get away from law enforcement? That's the concerning part. I think that's where our attention should be. Instead of saying, ICE did something wrong and they shouldn't have done this. Let's let the investigation play out.
Right, but with all due respect, they shot someone and killed someone. And so I think that's why people are asking, because a lot of people are saying that it shouldn't be a death sentence. But also, do you think that...
I'm sorry, it shouldn't be a death sentence to try to run over a law enforcement officer?
Well, that
so
is...
Again, you've seen the video. You've probably seen one or two angles of the video. There are more out there that this investigation is going to unfold here. But it wasn't just someone randomly went up to an individual and shot them. If the officer in this case reasonably believes that their life is in danger, they have the authority to take the appropriate action. And again, that investigation will play out to
and so it sounds like from the experts that I've been talking to as well that it will come down to the state of mind of that officer and whether he thought his life was at risk. But I want to play you some of my earlier interview with CBS law enforcement analyst Rodney Harrison.
Just based upon the video and the things that I've seen and through my 30 years in law enforcement experience, what I saw was there was a possible alternative for the officer. I am concerned about some of the tactics, the officer, the agent standing in front of the vehicle. But then it comes down to the officer, and did he feel that a judgment needed to be made regarding stopping what he might have deemed a deadly physical assault on himself.
So there are some wondering if the officer could have stepped aside or whether he was acting to end a situation he got himself into. Your thoughts?
Well, again, hindsight's always 20/20, right? I mean, we could always Monday morning quarterback this, but that's not what the case law says. That's not how the Supreme Court looks at this. Is what was reasonable in this officer's mind at that time of the incident in the split-second decisions that they have to make at that time. And again, I've seen video, you've seen video. I don't have eyewitness testimony. I don't know the commands that were given to this individual behind the wheel. I don't know what she spoke back to them. There's a lot that goes into play here. And again, I would just caution, we need to let this investigation play out to understand all the circumstances that went on in this case.
And I appreciate you saying that. I do have one more question for you. Do you think that the current administration has been too quick to completely jump to the ICE agent's defense and say that this woman was committing an act of domestic terrorism?
Again, I don't want to be repetitive here. My preference is to let the investigation play out to understand everything that was going on here. I don't appreciate, the left saying, "Oh, it's always the law enforcement officer's fault." I think we need to give deference to law enforcement. They have a very difficult job, particularly there in Minneapolis. They know that the local officials don't support them. They get no help from the local police department. They are on their own. They're on an island there trying to enforce immigration law. They've picked up over 1,000 criminal illegal aliens in that state since this operation began. So they have a very difficult job. I think we should support them. We should give deference to them during the ongoing, as this investigation plays out.
Chad Wolf, we really appreciate your time. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.